I read a little bit of this book out loud to my kids. My wife overheard and thought I was making up an inappropriate story just to mess with her. But no, this is all real. The Berenstain Bears fight drugs.
Argofont Book Review, Argofont Book Review.
There's a big town meeting where Chief Bruno reveals illegal drugs were found at the school. Everyone gasps in horror, and Chief Bruno warns the kids drugs are poison. Mayor Honeypot declares the school a drug-free zone, meaning there will be signs, extra police patrols, and double punishment for criminals. This is a drop subplot. When the criminals are caught at the end, the book deliberately avoids saying what their punishment is, and they appear in later books like absolutely nothing happened. The Bear family walks home. Mama Bear thinks the drug-free zone won't work because cubs who really want drugs will get them somewhere else. I never expected Mama to argue drugs should be legal because kids are gonna do them anyway. That's the opposite of what she thought in the gun control book. Continuity. Papa thinks drugs are bad and only idiots use them. Grandpa reminds Papa that he was once caught making and smoking his own cigarettes. Papa stops talking after that. A stranger arrives in town. He has an evil scar, hat, and trench coat. The cubs decide he's probably the culprit because he looks evil. Another suspect is the local con man, Ralph Ripoff, who says he's got a secret job for the cubs. And of course, the Too Tall gang are suspects because they're always up to no good. One of the gang members does drugs that morning. He is so high, he has no idea what's going on. He steals a bike and crashes it into a police car. Brother Bear takes the drugs that fell out of his pocket. You heard me correctly. Brother Bear steals drugs from a crime scene. The book tries to justify it by saying the police didn't notice the drugs were there. Sorry, but you can't use the police are bad at their jobs as an excuse for robbing them. At school, Brother sees Too Tall sneak off for a drug deal. He meets with the ugly stranger under the grandstand. Brother gets a picture of them exchanging drugs and money. But when Brother confronts Too Tall, his pockets are empty. Where did the drugs go? Brother and his friends go to the hospital where they get a 10-page lecture on the evils of drugs. They visit Ralph Ripoff's houseboat where they find a figurative boatload of drugs. The Bear detectives go to the police. Chief Bruno is usually nice, but here he's kind of a jerk as he explains Brother and his friends are wrong about everything. Ralph is innocent. His secret job offer wasn't a drug deal. He just wanted to pay the kids to clean his messy houseboat. He was framed by the real culprits, the Bog Brothers. The Bog Brothers are the culprits in, like, 4 of these books, and I still have no idea who they are. They appear to be random guys who live in a swamp and commit crimes for no particular reason. The only thing they say in this book is varmints is varmints, which has nothing to do with selling drugs. The ugly stranger isn't a drug dealer, he's an undercover cop, who must not know what the word undercover means, seeing as he is as conspicuous as possible. Brother was also wrong about the drug deal between Too Tall and Ugly Stranger. Too Tall wasn't buying drugs, he was selling drugs. As a result of this mix-up, Too Tall gets a free pass on his criminal activity. The police say they'll tell his parents, and that's it. What's the point of even having a drug-free zone if you're not going to enforce it? To his credit, Chief Bruno makes a point of warning the cubs and readers they should never, ever try to catch drug dealers in real life. That's a good way to end up dead. The cubs learn you can get hooked on things which aren't drugs. The only truly drug-free zone is in your heart and mind. The end. Post-book follow-up. Too Tall was selling drugs. Where did he get the drugs? I guess he got them from the Bog Brothers, but where did they get the drugs? Who is the drug kingpin of Bear Country? This book was an interesting mystery. I think it probably would have been good if the mystery had been about something milder, like stolen test scores or silly magazines, not drugs. It's hard to get past the idea of drugs existing in this normally harmless world. The anti drug lecture was badly done. It goes on for far too long to the point where it lost my interest. Unlike other Berenstain Bear books, there's no attempt to integrate the lecture into the story. The story gets put on hold for 10% of the book so we can have a thinly veiled lecture on why drugs are bad. Overall, it's a decent enough mystery, with surprises at the end. The mystery angle kept the story moving along. The drug stuff isn't so good. It's weird that Too Tall sold drugs, and Brother stole drugs from a crime scene, yet neither of them get punished. I have no idea why they decided to go with this as the first book in the series. There were other, better books that they could have started the big chapter book series with. I give the Berenstain Bears and the Drug Free Zone a 4 out of 10.